Welcome to Behind Blue Eyes, the show that is all things New South Wales Rugby League. We'll talk to our greats of the past about the life and times of our players and people of today. Great to have you on board. Let's go Behind Blue Eyes.
All right, we're here for another episode of Behind Blue Eyes with New South Wales Blues assistant coach Paul McGregor. Mary, welcome.
Thank you.
So we're up in Kingscliff for the decider for Brisbane. How's the week been so far?
Yeah, great, mate. We got here Monday night and we had a get-together with some former Origin greats, players from the 94 and 2005. We had a good night on Monday night. Got delayed in Sydney Airport for an hour or two, but as soon as we got here, we all enjoyed a meal and a couple of drinks together. And then obviously Tuesday we had a really big day. Went out and seen the community, spent a bit of time with people that haven't had really tough times of the past with the floods up here, and put some smiles on some faces hopefully, and you know, trained, and then again on Wednesday trained, and today. So tomorrow we're going to have a light day.
And you mentioned the 94 series. We had Benny Elias up here. How good was it to catch up with him? And what did you guys do right in that series? Well,
first on Benny the GOAT, greatest of all time. You know, great guy, full of energy, life of the party, gets everyone involved, and really sparks good conversation amongst one another. He knows some really good games as well at late at night time. So, you know, just a fun, caring bloke that gave his all for his state. You know, in '94, I was fortunate enough to be in amongst that group of men. We've done something really special. We got a three-peat in '94 and come back from one game down to win game 2 and 3. What I do remember is the belief we had in one another, the trust we had in one another. You know, even though we lost game 1, we lost that late in, right on the bell. We knew that we had to go to Melbourne and win a very tough game to make sure we levelled the series up, and then obviously going to the old Lang Park. By memory, it was Mal Meninga's last game for his state. You know, it was just, you know, it was a game that, you know, the memory's right here. It doesn't fade away. That you know, we just knew that we had to go up and do something that hadn't been done before, really. And we were doing it with the right men. We just had that belief and trust, as I said.
And Danny Buderus was obviously the captain of the 05 team that won the other decider in Brisbane. We had Craig Wing and Mark Gasnier in camp as well. What were some messages from those guys about that series? Yeah,
similar, probably very similar. Like without you know, putting words in their mouth, because I didn't play in that, but you know, they just talked about how exciting it is. You know, like it's a challenge that you want as a rugby league player. It's a challenge that you leave a legacy. It's been, you know, 94 to 2005 to now. There's a long gap in between that. So you know, these boys have got a great opportunity. It was just explaining that you know, more around how much fun it should be, and how your prep needs to be right before you go out on the big occasion. And you know, if you do all that, and then you get you do the hard work through the week, and then you enjoy that night and that atmosphere.
Now on to some disappointing news. Obviously, Jordan McLean has suffered a hamstring injury, which has ruled him out. Very disappointing for him after he's worked so hard to get here.
Yeah, that is shattering news. You know, he's waited a long time, he's worked very hard, and he's got himself in a really good position, playing great footy. You know, and to, you know, get an injury so close to a game that he had been preparing for all of his NRL career. You know, there's no good news to come out of that really, except the opportunity for someone else that comes in. But for Jordan himself, we're very disappointed. He was fitting in very well. He was involved in Camp 2. You know, so you know, hopefully Jordan will heal and get a good opportunity next year playing good footy.
If Jacob Scifiday is the man to replace Jordan, what have you liked about him so far this year, and what did he bring to the camp earlier in the series?
Yeah, well, Jacob was here at Camp 1, and Brad thought he was very close to playing in that opening game. You So for me, what does Jacob bring? He's a big body. He plays it tough. He does the effort areas very good in the game. He works hard off the footy, puts pressure on the ball player, defends well, carries strong, and does the simple things really well. And that's what you need. You need people that are selfless in this arena. You need people that do things for others before themselves. And I think that's what young Scifiday is. He's a man that will do anything it takes to for a teammate. And if we have 17 people doing that, it's a win-win.
And Sifa Talakai, one of our debutants for Game 2. How do you see his role panning out for the third game?
Look, probably not unsimilar to Game 2. Obviously, with Sif, he can play centre and back row, and even middle if we need him. So he's a very powerful athlete. That defends well, carries strong. That he's multi-skilled. He's more of a football player than a positional player. So, for me, he's a very good person to have on the bench because you can slot in anywhere where he's needed. If we do get an injury in a position or a HIA, Sif's there to ready to go.
And a big talking point from the second game was Matt Burton and his big bombs, his kicking game. Are you expecting to see more of those up in Brisbane?
Yeah, we're very fortunate in this group that we've got 3 kickers. We've got a right-sided kicker, obviously, with a right foot. In one of the best kickers in the game, if not the best kicker in Nath, and he's predominantly our number one. Well, he's our number one kicker, and he'll do most of the kicking. But having an option of Burto on that left-hand side, as well as Jerome, is it's great. It's special. We can kick off a sideline with a +2. We kick down a short side, and Nath can travel to kick. So it keeps the opposition guessing where the kick pressure's coming from, and it gives us options to get out to play a bit of footy and finish anywhere we want to get a decent kick away. So the height he gets, not many can get that sort of height, and that change of a spin on it when it's coming down. So it's a hard one for the back 3 of Queensland to take, or anyone to take for that matter. But I'm glad he's with us and not against us.
And the boys clearly responded well to the camp in Perth last game. Do you think getting away to Kingscliff will have a similar impact? And what do you like about it up here?
Look, it's been very busy a few days, but we're together. We enjoyed one another's company. We're preparing for Wednesday night, not now, and we're building into the camp, which is really good. No distractions. Everything's here for them. We've got all support staff available. The players are relaxed. They're comfortable. The weather's nice now. The food's outstanding. So there's no excuses with our prep, that's for sure. And we're moving to Brizzy Monday just to get closer to where we need to get it done. But right now the prep is very similar to Perth. It's just a little bit longer, so we've got to make sure that we prepare to peak on Wednesday and not a Sunday.
And finally, what do the boys need to do well on Wednesday to retain the shield?
I think a little bit. I didn't touch on it before, but in '94 and 2005, if you outwork your opposite and you make it personal to win that battle individually, and collectively do anything for the person beside you, inside and out, it goes a long way to winning the game, because the talent here is very similar across both teams. We'll need to want it more than the opposition, which we will. We'll need to make it personal with the player you're playing against, which we will. And you've got to leave it all out there, and I'm sure they will.
All right, that's another episode of Behind Blue Eyes done and dusted. And next week, no doubt, we will be celebrating with a series win.